call Mr. McKinney, how you
We're live. I got us muted, but we're live.
All right, real quick instructions, all cell phones on mute or turn them off if you don't know how to use them. All cell phones. Also, if it's your turn to speak loudly. The mic is here. Is that the mic too? And the mic is there. You need to speak loudly so you can be heard. Okay. I'm getting ready to call this meeting. The meeting of the Gary Public Transportation Corporation is hereby called to order. For the record, the Board of Gary Public Transportation Corporation hereby certifies for the record that an executive session was held prior to the meeting pursuant to IC 5-4-1.5.6.1B. We certified that the items discussed were related to information concerning issues that were posted on our executive session notice. Roll call, please.
President Hewlett,
Present.
Secretary Goffin,
Present.
Member Ruby,
Present.
Member Robinson,
Present.
Member Scott Henry.
Excuse.
Thank you. Member McKenzie,
Present.
Member Tolbert.
Here.
We have 6 present. We have a quorum.
We have item number 2. Approval of board meeting minutes dated September 4th, 2025.
Move as presented.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the board meeting minutes dated September 4th, 2025. Is there any corrections, discussion on the motion? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Robinson,
Yes.
Member McKenzie,
Yes.
Member Tolbert.
Yes.
6 votes.
Motion approved. We go to item number 3, approval of GPTC General Check Register schedules dated September 1 through September 30, 2025.
Madam Chair, I move that the Metro Center check register schedule dated September 1st through the 30th, 2025 be approved. I second.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the general check register for September 1st to September 30th. Is there any discussion? Any questions? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Robinson,
Yes.
Member McKenzie,
Yes.
Member Tolbert.
Yes.
We have 6 yeses.
Item number 3 is approved. Approval of GPTC Metro Center check register schedules dated September 1st through September 30th, 2025.
Madam Chair, I move that the GPTC Metro Center check register schedule dated September 1st through the 30th, 2025 be approved.
Second. It's been moved and properly second that we approve the Metro Center check register. Is there any discussion? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Robinson,
Yes.
Member McKenzie,
Yes.
Member Tolbert.
Yes.
We have 6 yeses.
Motion is approved. We're going to go to item number 5. That'll be the general manager and departmental reports in the absence of our interim general manager, Mrs. Dillard. Our human resource director, Mr. Dennis, will take that part.
Good evening, board chair and board members. And in the light of our interim general manager's tardiness being here, she's on her way to this meeting. We would like to bypass the general manager's report and go directly into the departmental report. We'll start with finance.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board.
Good evening.
I'm reporting on, the month ended, July 2025. And I'm starting at the top. First of all, what this included in your package, it should.
Yes,
Okay, we started at the top and we were reviewing the revenue section, and if you call your attention to the actual revenue collected in July 2025, you see we recorded $763,645.64. Oh, I'm sorry. I got the wrong report. I printed out the wrong report. Excuse me, chalk it up to my age.
we ain't touching that.
Okay. We reported on August. Let the record be reflect the correction, please. And during the month of August, we collected $830,683.84. The bulk of that again is in federal grants, which was $784,326. In the variance column, we show a decrease, below our budgeted amount, monthly budgeted amount of $1,277,446,624. That's 35% below what was budgeted for this time for the monthly budget in terms of our revenue projections, which was $15,327,730 with a monthly average of $1,277,380. So the 44,000 is the decrease. 446,000 is the decrease below the monthly average, or 35% below. Excuse me, what we projected we would collect. Now, on a year-to-date basis, that actual percentage falls by 1%, but year-to-date we've collected $6,698,046.82 against a cumulative budget of $10,218,469 in round numbers. But you can see the percentage, the variance is 34, so we actually dropped a percentage there. So that's going in the right direction, but not by a lot. If we go down to our total expenses, we can see that the total expenses total $876,608, and that's a decrease of $45,924.36. In other words, for the month of August, our expenses exceeded the actual revenue we collected, $830,000 by $45,924.36. And on average, and on a year-to-date basis, that decrease is $399,535, 31%, just for through the end of August. So we're on track at this point to incur a deficit of $399,535 at this point. Now, that will change going into the last of the year, because we got to get our last distribution of property tax money, which is going to be about 1.6 million. Okay, and we're working with the city, and Mr. Whitaker and Ms. Dillard are working with them on the opera grant that we have with the city. The city is looking at providing $710,000 in one lump sum to us with the grant they got, instead of requesting reimbursement on a monthly basis. So I should know sometime next week whether or not we're gonna collect that $710,000 and whether some of them happen to request reimbursement for eligible expenditures on a month-by-month basis. That will wipe out those deficits because of the timing of the receipt of the funds that are on a month-by-month basis. In addition, I have billed the town of Millville for its annual payment of $44,524 for the service we provide, the transit service we provide, which is way below what it costs. Then we are in negotiation with the town of Millville and the mayor to increase that to the actual cost, which is in the neighborhood of $330,000. Same thing with the city of Hammond. They currently pay $50,000 annually, but similar cost pattern. We're going to be billing them in the $300,000 range, but we have to get those agreements consummated before we can collect those funds. So with that collection, the $710,000, the next report, if we get that money like we anticipate, will be in the pocket. We won't have this $399,000 deficit, but it should be wiped out. Okay, we are moving to an increase in our funding at year end through 2025. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Watson, for your report. The next report will be my report, human resources. Again, as you look, you will see the departmental the need. We had we were down some operators and we were down some maintenance staff. I'm happy to announce that we actually had interviews this week for operators, in which we had some successful candidates. The steward let me know right before the meeting, so they will be starting in our next pay cycle, which I think starts next week. We also hired 2 new staff members for the maintenance department as well. So we also have some great candidates for the procurement clerk position that's available, which we should be scheduling interviews for next week. As usual, this is the beginning of the fourth quarter, so I had to coordinate with our drug testing partners to get the schedule random selections done. I also collaborated with Leslie from Haywood and Fleming to organize our annual Be Healthy Lunch and Learn in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. With this event, we usually have a door decorating concert. We started it last year, so and there were people were well receptive, so we said let's do it again. And we give out gifts. They're able to provide gifts to pass out, and people decorate their doors. And we normally give everybody a gift. We say it's a contest, but everybody ends up getting a gift just to participate. So we're going to do that again. That will be on the 23rd of this month. I've also engaged with the vendors in open enrollment. We're working with Leslie, who has our benefits program, to schedule a date for our open enrollment. Our open enrollment is in December. We usually do it. It could be an open enrollment / Christmas dinner. We have for the employees. So be a nice event. Mr. Payne usually DJs for us. Hopefully he'll do it again for us this year. We haven't hit him up yet. So we usually have a good time, man. If we don't have a December board meeting, you're welcome to come out and partake in a meeting with us. And also, conducted screening for applicants. Well, I just spoke about the applicants for the position, so we got that done. And that's pretty much other than the normal HR stuff that I have to report on. Any questions?
This is Guidance Alley for the schools and private, and
Mr. King, you need to speak up.
Okay.
So what is the starting salary for the road supervisor and bus operator? Right.
So the bus operators is $25. Road supervisors have just, well, it hasn't been approved yet, but their salary is set to go up. Right now, they're at 21, which they are lower than the bus operators, which is why we have to increase their salary.
$20 an hour is pretty dang good. That's what we pay our Class A operators in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, we increased the operating salary because we weren't getting candidates in for operators. The operators was making less than the school bus driver. So it was the board's decision and they increased the salaries for the operators.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that position was on pause for a while. But the question has been answered.
Okay. All right, if there's no more questions, we'll move on to departmental report, and the operations report.
Operations, good evening, board, speaking loud enough, Mr. Burton. All right. Wow, the transportation from the perspective of the ridership, these numbers are totally off. From the perspective at the time, the issues with the outdated, equipment from Genfit, which it had something installed in the third week of September. But however, we were able to track some numbers and probably about ridership since probably before COVID. The rest they was probably is almost 50,000 people. So from that perspective, so the numbers that's listed here on each of our routes, they're incorrect. So these are the numbers that came up. We were able to read the system. If you look at what I'm saying, we probably seen the fare box. So since then, we said September, all of the new fare boxes is faster. Those are the fare boxes that accept the Apple Pay and the pay with your phone and so on and so forth. Although not only working operable, but really it's a work in progress. Just had Jim fit out. All right, they did a huge presentation to finance as well as my director of maintenance and transportation, so you got a better understanding about how things were going. Things were there, but they were in different places. So it went from 2.0 to 4.0. Great. You got your phone on vibrate? Yes. However, so from that perspective, the ridership has been as high as it's been, at least since I've been. So it's very encouraging to go out and you're right, you just routing routes. You see routes for speaking particularly about the being met the capacity. So that means also that people are going to work. So where ridership is down for a while, they had time problems down there, jobs, whatever the situation may be. But that's very encouraging to see our fleet getting up. And people ride and they get up in the morning, they're coming back at the regular times, and all that's the way it should happen. From the perspective of maintenance. So our maintenance, we've seen a huge decline in road calls, but we had quite a few from a perspective of the 9 week buses that we had. So a lot of people will say, well, hey, you just got those buses, so why are you working on them? Why are you doing it? Why are they breaking down? So with anything that you refurbish or you put new things into an old shelter, of course, when you get here and now you got the vehicles running 18 hours a day, never shutting off any of the HVAC, whatever the situation may be, you're going to have issues. And so, in a small issue from a perspective of lines, hose lines going breaking and so on and so forth. So, but what we were at maybe 11 roll calls in a month, we're down to 3. Next week, probably get 2. So, and for our mechanics are just short from a mechanic perspective, and a couple guys from medical. The 4 guys, they were running around like their head cut off. I'm very encouraged to see that from a perspective of this growth as a company, just speaking specifically from an operation perspective, the ability to be able to go draw new talent and some of the best talent. We're doing it along with I don't know who's contacting people like we said talking about the HR. But you didn't meet candidates, and I'm happy to say, okay, where you get that from? Where you get that from? You're getting people that understand the business that we're in. Typically, a lot of people, like you guys, do transportation, y'all can actually work. Transportation has way more facets than what that personally understand. And to have people from a technical perspective working, so they got professional license and they're working in that capacity in a professional manner. It's difficult to find. And ladies, I'm very pleased with the people that we'll be getting in the past couple of months. And they are really showing dividends. They're going to get dividends as we work. So, forgive me for being so long with it. So I got any questions? Ain't gonna be no questions. All right.
Next we will have IT.
Okay, IT has had an interesting month. I guess first we'll cover Gen Fair, because that's the main thing that everybody wants to hear about. Gen Fair has been installed as of the 21st. We've got the fair boxes installed. We are still waiting on, I have to come in Sunday. We are installing barcodes. They missed the barcodes in all the fair boxes. That transition, what we're doing from this point to the end of the year is transitioning the system, meaning that we're preparing it for Tap to Pay, preparing it for Apple Pay, Android Pay. Yesterday we had a training on the app system because we have our own custom app. All of that is in process. So the next couple of months, that's what we're going to do is be fine tuning anything that's broken in that piece. And whenever you're doing a big installation like that, everything's not going to work at the same time. So we're in the process of doing that, but all the buses have been installed. Okay. Network. Our network has MTA came out yesterday. We went discussed with them because we are in need of a network rebuild. We have about 37 items on our network that haven't been used in 3 years. You know, there are vulnerabilities on certain computers, things of that nature that we have to address. Moving to 365 it was just one step. 365 is up and complete. What we have to do from here on out is learn how to use 365 to its fullest capacity. We have Wi-Fi going on the buses. That's a part of the Gen Fair connection. Okay, so that will be happening in the next few weeks. We will have the Wi-Fi available, and I am happy to say that I am about 90% complete with a website rebuild. So that will be the next thing that everyone sees, demos and things of that nature. So it's been an interesting month. We had 2 firewalls installed. Okay, right now we are having communication errors between 2 locations, but each location is operating separately. So we don't have to worry about, you know, not being able to print and things of that nature. So everything is a work in progress. Gen Fair should, like I said, should be fully complete by the end of the year, where we can do our full launch, you know, after the full integration. And if there is no other questions, if there are any questions, that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Burton. Next, we have planning and marketing.
Good evening to the board and staff. Wanted to, as usual, pick up on the ridership report that Mr. Payne mentioned. Yeah, because of the Gen Fair integration and the issues we have with the older fare boxes, there was some estimating needed to take place. But based on the ridership trends that we saw, the mobile pass usage, the air show, and the increase in service in the Lakeshore communities, the R6 and R4, gave us the highest ridership we've had since the pandemic. So together it was a perfect storm. I'm hoping in September we are able to continue that. I did look at the mobile pass usage for September on the lakeshore routes, and it's almost identical to August. So those people who started riding in August in Hammond and Whiting, they're continuing to ride. So we're talking, depending on the location, boarding changes from 85% increases to 200% increases. And this is before we fully gotten the word out, had an open house in that area, and installed the bus stop signs, which we're going to be doing later on this year. For the service adjustment that you approved a month ago, we have completed the schedule adjustments for the routes that will be adjusted. They've been sent to operations for their review. They've also been sent to our bus stop and bus route planning programmers for programming that. So basically, they're just waiting for approval from operations and our projected start date before they can program a go live date for that. I worked with the FTA and finance to complete a budget revision pretty much within a couple of days to add some additional operating revenue to our account to basically pay our drivers. But we wanted to get it in September before the federal system closed down. And we got it in within a couple of days. You didn't even have to have a conference call with the FTA. We put together something that they just went ahead and approved without having us to correct it. Lastly, in your packet, I believe is the Title VI plan for is that in the plan? Okay. It'll be sent out. If not,
Set aside.
No, we don't, the synopsis.
Oh, the synopsis.
okay.
We talked about.
Well, I'd like to get you the full plan. So I will get you the full plan. This is, even though it is probably the driest things you'll read from my department ever, and I send out a lot of dry stuff, I know this. It's necessary because we have to prove to the federal government that we're not discriminating on any basis, based on the Civil Rights Act of 1964. It is updated every 4 years, and it's necessary to have one current for future grants. And we've got that $17 million grant that's going to be looked at as soon as the federal system opens up. We want to make sure that's current when the feds finally approve that. So you've got the synopsis, which basically has all the changes between the 22 and the 25 version. And I will have the full draft version sent to you so that you can approve it, so you can take a look at it and approve it at the November meeting.
Take up here.
But I think, the board wanted to see the 22 one as well.
Okay.
So that they can-
I'll have it sent out.
Okay.
It's mostly just updating census information. I think we got the 2010 census for 2022. We've got the 2020 now, and of course we have some adjustments in our services. So the synopsis that's in your packet basically highlights the changes from 22 to 25. Well, I have them.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
There are no questions. Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Thank you, David. And now we'll hear from our interim general manager.
What's that? That's so fine. You're almost.
We were a great opening.
Good evening, board. Thank you so much for your indulgence, President. We just got triple booked on events this evening and trying to make sure that we do what we say we're going to do in time and manner. Try to make all three of them so that they know that we were represented. As your interim GM, the biggest thing that we've done in the last, honestly, 2 to 3 months is work on the budget. That's it. And what does that mean? That means that we are relationships with legislators, with mayor, and with other mayors to make sure that we are looking at a local match to obviously be able to pull down the federal. And in that situation, we have continued to progress. We have We did get a call from Hard Rock, so we will be submitting part of our proposal request. This is based on the Burr Street route. That route has increased by double digits. And what we were asked by Hard Rock was that actually an increase, or was it them? And I said, what's a combination? Burr was created before Hard Rock, so we already had route. What has happened is there's been business that has developed on Burr. So now it's a workforce place. It's a place for game activities, you know, and then there's things that have come up around it. But even hookah, tobacco stores, you know. So you've got a different piece going on there. And they're open all night. So not only is it about just people coming to entertain themselves, it's people working shifts. And so when a lot of our management has driven the bus out to these places so that they can report who's on it, that's how we find out exactly what's going on. We're not just using some counter or taking somebody's word. No, we're looking at the numbers from the audit, which comes from the finance department. We're looking at how many people does it cost us to do business? What is the mileage that we're paying for? Gas? What is fluids? Fleet? What does that mean in terms of our costs? So those are the things in the past 2 years that we've gotten really good at doing, and writing the narrative to say this is where the money is, this is where it's been spent, and to move forward, this is what's going to be needed. The biggest thing that I think the narrative, which the majority of you already know, our new board members, the biggest narrative change is Gary Public Transportation is a regional surface transit business. Our extension of business has gone from 54, and now we're being asked to go to 100. That's Crown Point density. And the reason for that, jobs, entertainment, shopping centers. People want that. I will tell you, is not being asked for. And everyone really thought that this was going to be the down thing. The hands down. It is not healthcare. It is not healthcare. And people thought, oh, they just got to get to doctors. But no. Before you get to doctors, there's food. Food desert is a problem. Okay. So even when we had the maybe 24-hour closure of a grocery store, we stepped in immediately. Thank you, operations. We stayed over until 3 or 4 hours that Friday night because we didn't get the information until 4 o'clock. And the team put it together. As I was told, this is low-hanging fruit for us. What do you want us to do? And I got to tell you, that's good to feel, right? You ask the people to work over on a Friday, it's 5 o'clock. And they said, low-hanging fruit, we got you. They're talking about got you as the city. All right. What our responsibilities. That's not a person. At the same time, they were absolutely correct. We did it. We got it. We wrote the press release. We gave it to the mayor. They altered the press release to say how they wanted it first. It was out before the buses could get on the ground, you know. They turned it around quickly. That's the kind of relationship that GPTC now has. That's moving forward and getting things done on regional piece. The task force meeting with the city of Hobart and the town of Merritt. As I reported to, I couldn't see in my notes if I had said this to the new board, so pardon me if it's redundant. Okay, so we are represented on their task force. And that is the first. So I am the representative for the town of Maryville, city of Hobart task force on transportation. What is the reason? Because they received $7 million to look at the roundabout in Mississippi to look at extension of mall, what I would call a trolley kind of situation, where you're just going from Sam's, which is Hobart, and you're going down to Century. But they want that to be like a 20-minute loop. So every 20 minutes, there's buses. And this was the city of Hobart's concern. The planner, as she and I met, and what her issue was that people crossing US 30 are walking with packages across US 30. And I told her, good point, not something I had looked at, to be very honest. But in that, we said, but you do know that's our right already. So why would you want to not be efficient and effective in your resources? And they agreed, that is true. We should be talking to GPTC and making sure that you take care of the buses. You house the buses. You get the drivers. And we will then work with you. That's a huge win because it was not arbitrary. There was nobody upset about regional transportation systems. They are supporting it. So we moved forward. I don't have all the details in terms of what the actual specifics are, but that was huge to get to that level of my just saying, what are you all doing? You're opening up your own bus place. Why? And it was just those kind of questions. And they said, you know, that doesn't make much sense. Then it depends on what you're trying to do. I don't know. So what we found was everyone was very much, it's been nothing but a great conversation. And I do want to thank the town of Merrifield, Rick Bella, who's their president. I thank you, the planner, and Mayor Josh for his staff as well that's represented there. It's been a good working group, and we look to do more. So that's been a big part of just what we continue to do. Problems with infrastructure, it's building, but we have some things that, thank you board for allowing us to move forward on some things. One of them is the wash is getting ready to happen on it. So we have, well, we've gotten the monies and all the things together for that. So with your approval, we will move that forward.
Just as information, Mr.
Thank you, some before us. Thank you. So I'm sorry, get ahead of myself.
We all gonna say no now.
You're not one. I'm gonna get to you. I don't want to do that. Okay.
Guess better start running now.
No. In all seriousness though, we are excited because we know that the board has always been supportive of moving forward on things. And upkeep infrastructure is something that this area is trying to improve throughout the city. It's not just here. And I think that without patting any one or two teams on the back, our team has stayed consistently in that situation and saying, what can we do to make it better? Greyhound is not to be ignored because their money has said, use it the way you think you need to use it to ensure that this is good for you all who are here all the time, and for us when we come in, and certainly good for our riders. We have interviews on occasion, at least several every month, with Greyhound, who also had seen the green bus flex. And we just, like, I'll go on the bus and I'll just talk to the operator. You know, is there anything we can do to make your ride more comfortable? How are your riders adjusting to da-da-da-da? And they really help. The negative things might be, traffic, you know, entries maybe being congested. Well, that's not a bad problem for us. Congested means you got business. Okay. If it's easy to get through, that's just because nobody's here. So they weren't accustomed to now seeing 3 and 4 buses lined up on both sides. That's new for this for a while. So that kind of activity is very good. Public Works has been great. Thank you, Public Works, when you see this. Rachel Caesar and her team, they have come over and cut trees and bushes and made sure that this isn't a once a year situation. It's a continual working process. And so that has been good. We're also looking, and I'm sure that's what Mr. Pruitt talked about. We want to just get a little paint going on. And part of the cleanup is presentation. We are extremely proud to say that things that oftentimes are at IUN or the universities, great. But now we're getting asked, can they have those things here at GPTC in our board? And so if you're familiar with TED Talks are something that you see innovators, influencers from social media come and talk about themselves. Usually it's in a university atmosphere. It's usually at the auditorium. At IUN. Well, on October 16th, GPTC will be hosting it. And they will be in this room. So we are extremely excited about that. We want to try to clean up and spruce up a little bit, but they asked us, we didn't ask them. They said they think this is a phenomenal infrastructure. It has history. It has its place in our history. And they are welcoming, bringing people here to ensure that we are still working this process. So I thank the team for making sure that everything is getting done. We're looking at some things in here. We're not ready to come in and but just against sprucing it. We've been talking to our county commissioners, the city council, and Mayor Melton. And Mayor Melton has said, present him with the new proposal for the monies that we'd like to have for each. So that's a positive. And that's something that we want to make sure all of the books and the ask is the same. If you recall, when we started, we had a certain amount of money we had to spend by a certain amount of time. So we were kind of running after the deadline. That's not what we're doing now. What we're doing is putting together a comprehensive budget that talks to, and I thank you, Mr. Washington, Mr. Whitaker, and your finance team. What we did was say, if we needed $1 million as we're looking to increase something, because we are looking at increasing the fleet ×2, that's what we put in. And the reason is because it was recommended as we went to various places like the county, they said, get your fleet. We see the need. We see what you're trying to do. And they're talking about the you being GPTC. We see what you're trying to do. Get it. And let's see what we can do. And let's make it a reoccurring situation. So these are very important aspects of moving forward and with the support that we have. So these have been the big things. These have been the things that we have to keep working. It is about relationship building, always. It is about us doing what we say we're going to do always. And being connected to our communities that we serve. And I think that that's been something that I say thank you to everyone. Everyone has stepped up their game and go to various things, whether it's a night of the Rail Cats, so that we can sit down and talk with people like Ty Warner, who is the CEO of NERC. We want to make sure that we have those informal opportunities to sit down, talk business, say thank you, and continue doing business. With that, if you have any questions for me, any questions? Or about anything that was said during the reporting. Hearing none, I will turn back over to my board president, and thank you very much for listening. We need to receive the reports, please.
Move that we accept the departmental and general manager reports as presented.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the board reports as presented. Are there any questions, any concerns? There being none, roll.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Robinson,
Mr. Robinson.
Member McKenzie,
Yes.
Member Tolbert.
Yes.
We have 5 votes.
Motion is approved. We have some items that we need to entertain.
Madam Chair, under old business, move that we continue the table for the approval of the procurement manual until we are presented with the proposed changes. Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we table the procurement manual changes. Are there any questions? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Scott, oh, excuse me, Member McKenzie,
Yes.
Member Tolbert.
Yes.
We have 5 votes.
Motion is approved. Other business. New business.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the presentation of our holiday tokens that we do annually for staff in the amount of $50. Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we provide, holiday tokens for our staff for the year 2025. Are there any questions? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin, Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Robinson, excuse me, Member McKenzie.
Yes.
Member Tolbert.
Yes.
Should I include Mr. Robinson in that? No, excuse me. We have 5 yeses.
Motion is approved. Staff tokens for the holiday.
Madam Chair, I also move that we give preliminary approval for Mr. Pruitt and his company to begin accessing prices for the preservation of our building.
It's been moved and properly second that we give our contractor, Mr. Pruitt, authorization to move forward on our building with prices and whatever needs to be done. Any questions? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member McKenzie.
Yeah.
Member Tolbert.
Yes.
We have 5 yeses.
Motion is approved, Mr. Pruitt. Do we have any other new business? Do we have, yes, do we have,
Oh, Madam Chair, I also move that we table the Title VI approval until the time that we have a opportunity to do a comparison of changes both previous and present.
it's been moved and properly second that we table Title VI policy until we're able to complete it. Are there any questions? Any discussion? There being a roll call, please.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member McKenzie,
Yes.
Member Tolbert.
Yes.
We have 5 yeses.
Motion is approved.
Madam Chair, I also move that we table the approval of insurance until the time that we have the appropriate numbers and information reviewed by finance and our GM and a possible secondary meeting if needed. Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we table the approval for the insurance pending further investigation. Are there any questions, any discussion on that motion? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member McKenzie,
Yes.
Member Tolbert.
Yes.
We have 5 yeses.
That motion is approved. Also, I would like to say that I was very rude. I'm sorry. November. Yeah. I was very rude. As you notice, this is not Kelly and this is not Judge. This is our attorney for the evening, and we thank you so very much, Attorney Taylor. We thank you so much for being with us. We couldn't move on. Any other business? Do we have any public comments? Step forward, Mr. McKinney.
Good evening to the board and ride of Kevin. And this is, I had a couple issues I'm gonna bring out right quick. I just wanna tell you and the board, if you make sure your drivers, make sure they have the right street signs up on their buses. But some of the drivers don't have the right street signs up. Your board, our board is out Broadway at the drivers, and they had a Marshalltown sign. I know it's a button that they can push to make sure that let the riders know what bus they board. Because some of the drivers don't have right street sign up on the bus. And David, right? I got a complaint about the airport air show. That I know you said it was gonna be every 10 minutes. Tiffany had one of the buses. He said she got stopped by the police out there when I went with my brother Mike, my classmate Craig Burns. We was gonna ride the bus R3 right by my house at 15th and Chase. And I called the garage. They, I don't know if Rico, they said it was on the way. Then it broke down. My classmate Craig Burns, we drove to the new station and got the shuttle bus. But I don't know why Tiffany got stopped by the police. But it takes longer than 10 minutes. For 2 years, I went with my brother for a bus to pick the people up and get them back to the new train station.
We can talk for detail afterwards, but yeah, we have some conversation about that, after the fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
give you details.
I was intending to bring that over at fast meeting, but sometimes I forget things. But that's it.
Anybody else?
Madam Chair, I move this meeting be adjourned.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you so very much, staff. Thank you for it. Thank you, attorney. Thank you.
Go into